How y'all doing?
Hey everybody.
We're coming to you from inside our brand new RV.
No, we're not.
You're trashing the illusion.
Oh, I'm sorry. It's all a dream. It's all a dream.
It's our brand new RV. Hello, Mel and Nettie, living free zip codeless. Let us know if you can hear us. If you can hear us okay, give us a thumbs up in the chat. We certainly would appreciate it. We're watching the chat right here. We're actually in a canopy with a couple of lights, a LP gas heater, and we're sitting on the lake at Lake Eufaula, and got the green screen hung.
Yep.
I'm going to show you around the inside if you're already here.
Uh-oh.
There, spoil the illusion. That is where we are. But we're actually inside our new RV. You want to go ahead and welcome the folks in?
Well, we according to mine, because I don't have a whole lot here yet. I got my live chat going, but we've got the Aloha Conch.
Aloha Conch, and we've also got
Sue.
Lucky Dog Productions, Sue from Lucky Dog Productions.
And Mel and Nettie.
Mel and Nettie, if you're in here, go ahead and drop us a comment so we can say hello to you. 7 folks in the room right now. We were supposed to have a premiere video.
Nursing Our Travel Bug is here. Well, howdy.
Our
and
family.
Over the Hill RV.
Over the Hill RV, good to see y'all. We were supposed to have a premiere video looking back at 2020 and looking forward to 2010, but
time got away from us.
Time did get away from us. In fact, I went to upload it about 40 minutes ago, and it said it would take an hour and 59 minutes to upload because we are at the lake and we're on spotty Wi-Fi.
Yep.
I hope we're coming in okay. Is the signal sounding okay? And does it, what about the stream? Let me see if I can watch it right here. Mine won't play.
I'm a little bit behind on my stream.
But you can see it?
I can see it.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Excellent. Yeah, we were going to look back at 2020 and look ahead to 2021, so we're going to have to do it live. And then we'll put the video up later because we shot it throughout
the park.
The park here, and it's a nice little video, but it just wasn't going to upload in time today. We've had a very busy last couple of days with the family and friends at the lake.
Yeah.
So tell me, Miss Barbara, can you pull up the our cheat notes?
I can. The Aloha Conch says Scoot's coming in loud and clear.
You can hear Scoot.
Yeah.
Scoot is our rat terrier, and she is inside the RV, which is about 20 feet right over there. And I'm sorry, no, she's back there in the bedroom.
Oh yeah.
She's back there in the bedroom in our new RV.
All right, we've
right back
got
there.
Sherry from Fantastic Travels is here. Camping Therapy, that's Doreen. And we
hello,
have,
Doreen.
Ford Man.
AKA Fordman.
Yeah. So we got a few more folks in here.
Good.
Yeah, we were going to do a premiere video, but like Ricky said, the timing got away from us. We couldn't get it uploaded in time, so we're just going to have to do it all live, and then you'll have to watch the video later because the video really is pretty good.
Yeah. So what do you say, at the end of this video, we're going to be giving away a $25 Amazon e-gift card.
Okay.
So we'll do that at the end of the video. But we're going to go ahead and start our look back. That hurts. I can't, cross that leg. I had knee surgery 2 weeks ago, total knee replacement, and I'm trying to get ahead of myself, and I think I'm doing better than I am. So anyway, is what it is. Our New Year's resolution in 2020, which was
Yes.
just under 12 months ago, what was our New Year's resolution in 2020?
To downsize and to sell our house.
And how much of that did we get accomplished?
Very little. Very little. However, this past month has been pretty good.
We got a little bit done through the help of our son Michael, who moved out into his own apartment, therefore vacating two of the bedrooms actually, and taking quite a bit of the furniture that we ultimately were going to have to get rid of. So our 2020 New Year's resolution is also our 2021 New Year's resolution, and we'll be making that this coming Thursday night right here on a live stream, by the way. We're going to do a live stream starting at 10 p.m. Central Time, 11 p.m. Eastern. It'll be our looking back, looking forward, New Year's, make our New Year's resolution, chat with you folks. But really, we hope to be celebrating our monetization. Right now, as it stands, without YouTube updating anything, we're sitting at 99 hours. We need 99 hours, and it last updated on Christmas Day. It's the 27th, so it's 2 days behind. And we hope that when it updates, by the time we get to the 31st, we'll be also celebrating our monetization. And that's on you, and we thank you for that.
Absolutely. Charlie Grace is in the room. That's our forever best friends. And they're actually going to be live just before us. So we're going to kind of roll one into the other. They want us to come and join them about 15 minutes before we get started. And we're just going to roll those live streams on.
So you're making plans behind my back.
Yes.
How do you know I didn't have plans 15 minutes prior to?
Because you didn't say so, so I made a command decision. Actually, I said it sounded great,
Well,
which it does, and we will.
You outranked me, so it's your decision to make.
Yeah.
So
Anyway, it's going to be great because, you know, Charlie Grace with, again, Forever Best Friends are going to be on just before us on New Year's Eve, and we're just going to continue to party. So.
All right. Looking back at 2020, we thoroughly enjoyed the 2020 Tampa RV Super Show.
Oh, absolutely.
And that was one of the three, you know, looking at the highlights of 2020, I can only think of maybe 3 really big highlights. That was one of them. Going to the Tampa RV Show. And we look forward to going again this year.
We do, as long as things don't change. We'll be back in Tampa, and we'll be in the dry camping area.
Right, out in the parking lot, just across from the gate.
And but yes, last year's was excellent. We got to meet so many people. A lot of YouTubers that we already knew from watching YouTube channels, and then a whole lot of people that we didn't know. So it was a wonderful, wonderful time for us. Looks like Nancy at the Thin
Blue Lane, Nancy.
Thin Blue Lane is here.
How you doing, Nancy?
And
what you cooking up, girl? She's always cooking something.
She is.
I know.
She is.
Makes me hungry.
But anyway, Tampa was excellent. Tampa was just our first experience. We had never been to an RV show before, and again, the best part was meeting up with folks, lifelong friends.
How did you put it? We meet old-time friends for the first time?
Yep, we met old friends for the first time.
We met old friends for the first time. And a couple of those old friends that we met for the very first time in Tampa took us to one of the other highlights of our year in January while in Tampa. We went to IKEA.
Oh, yes.
We had never been to an IKEA, and okay, 4. So far, 4. So we got the Tampa show, we got IKEA, so we still got a couple more that we can chalk up for highlights, things that put a smile on our face in 2020, because not much did. Not much did.
Dreaming Out Loud RVing is here.
All right.
And Lisa, Lippy Lisa Lipsticks. That was from Tampa.
From Summers Going Coastal.
That's right.
They were some of our first groupies.
Forever precious in our hearts.
Absolutely. We're packing up to leave Tampa, and they come running up. Are you RV Underway? Oh my gosh. I was sitting there, I was just dumbfounded. I'm like, what? Well, thank y'all. You made our day. You made the Tampa trip. And so we did go to IKEA for the first time, bought some furniture, and installed some furniture inside of Matilda. Then, of course, around the end of February and the middle of March, the pandemic shutdowns began.
Yes, they did. But in March, we were able to. What did we do in March now?
We
before
didn't
the COVID.
we didn't do anything good in March.
Yeah. Well, March was when we lost your mother.
Yeah, my mother passed away in March. God rest her soul. I'm kind of proud that she was able to exit this earth prior to all the silliness of the COVID pandemic, because it would have worried that poor soul to death.
The hound dog is not ours.
No,
the hound dog is in a Class C across the road from us.
Well, actually, they're backing in a trailer. We got
Well, that's why the hound dog's barking. The hound dog has barked at everything. The leaves falling.
Yeah, we got a trailer moving into the RV slot just across from us over here. So March wasn't a great year. They leveled COVID on us. The shutdowns began. If you recall, November of the previous year, 2019, I was given a bittersweet promotion, which meant that I wasn't going to retire in April as we had planned. So March was just another month. Again, we lost my mother, and the COVID shutdowns began. But then in April, we took a drive to Fort Benning. And
Yes.
who did we meet at Fort Benning?
The Wayward Waggs.
Wayward Waggs.
Dustin and Leslie.
And
Scout.
Dustin, Leslie, and Scout, the Wayward Waggs. They were pandemicked. They were, as Dustin says, Rona'd. They were, the Rona had them locked down, and they were in Fort Benning, which was old stomping ground for them.
Yeah, well, we had planned to see them in February with our epic RV adventure at the beach, but it didn't work out with all the shutdowns, so that made a lot of changes for us over the year. Affected us greatly in our travels and the kind of goals that we wanted to set. My work became more increased, even though we didn't have people in the center to play games or to socialize. We had to do the meals. So my work actually increased, more paperwork.
Got a correction. Meeting the Wayward Wags was not in April, it was in May. In April, we had a planned meetup at Eglin Air Force Base with Wayward Wags and our epic RV adventure, Michael, Shelley, and Talon. And COVID shut the base down, and that got canceled. Something we still want to do. Something we're still looking forward to doing if we can. So April, our meetup with Wayward Wags and our epic RV adventure at Eglin Air Force Base at the FAM camp was canceled. Also, that was when I was supposed to retire and didn't. So April ain't looking good. April's like March. It wasn't wasn't looking very good. All right, and then we move on to May.
Okay.
And it's still getting bad. It's getting worse. We had planned to go see one of our favorite country stars.
We were supposed to go to Mississippi and see Kenny Chesney with the Riddles. And not only did the concert get canceled on us,
Right.
but so did our camping plans.
Yeah, we had planned to camp at a Corps of Engineers campground up in Mississippi near the Kenny Chesney concert with our friends the Riddles. And that got canceled. The concert got canceled, and we couldn't even meet at the campground. In fact, we couldn't even go down to Gulfport and meet up at the FAM camp down there. It was
Locked up pretty tight.
But May was when we got to go meet up with Wayward Wags.
Because they were already there, and we just came in for the day.
So March was a bust, April was a bust, May had some shining light because we were able to go and visit with Wayward Waggs. And then in June, we went down to Mid-Bay Shores.
Well, the first part of June, I think June 1st, they opened up the Corps of Engineer camps.
Which is where we are now, one of the camps, White Oak Creek. So
And Mid-Bay Shores opened up, and so we went ahead and met Joan and Mike down in Mid-Bay Shores in Destin. And in the meantime, I probably booked every weekend from the 1st of June until September, Labor Day, with a weekend trip. Had to lift my spirits somehow.
That was June. And so it was good to see Mike and Joan and Corps of Engineer campgrounds. And then in July, that was number 3 highlight, July. Now these other ones were mini highlights. Our third big highlight, besides going to the Tampa show, going to IKEA, in July, we bought something.
Oh yes.
What did we buy?
We bought our Jeep. We bought Gobi.
We bought Gobi, our Jeep Wrangler JK 2018 model. Decked out, big tires, all the bells and whistles, and it's a Golden Eagle edition, and you've probably seen the video, so I won't wear that out. But we picked her up in July.
Did?
So Gobi was July, and let's move along to September. We had a weekend meetup with the Riddles, and that was at across the lake from us right here.
They came down here.
We were over at Cotton Hill Campground, which is on the Georgia side of this lake, Lake Eufaula, and we met up with them. And one of the highlights of that meetup, not only did we have a chance to see our good friends Mike and Joan, but we went to Georgia's Little Grand Canyon, Providence Canyon State Park.
Yes. That was a really nice day trip. Very nice.
It was great. If you ever get over to Mideastern Georgia there, Midwestern Georgia, I'm sorry, around the Columbus, Georgia area, south of Columbus, Georgia, Fort Benning, you're not too far from the Providence Canyon State Park. So try to make a point to get over there and see that. That was some good stuff.
I want to say hello to Little Bit and Shanna Craft.
Little Bit and Shanna Craft. Hi, how y'all
Bob
doing?
And
Thank you
Tam's
so much.
Excellent Adventures. Hello. They say hello to everybody.
All right.
And let's see. I think that's in and out and about on the bicycles. And that's Jody and BJ. Proceeding onward in America. Welcome.
POA, POA. Or as Bill over at Nursing Our Travel Bug would say, POA. Love you, Bill. All right, so that brings us up to September. No, that brings us up to October.
Ooh, October.
October was a busy month.
Yeah, we started off, we went up to Montgomery, Maxwell Air Force Base, and we met up with Mike and Shelley. And we got to do a little bit of sightseeing while we were there. We went to the island in which they filmed the movie Big Fish.
The town of Spectre.
The town of Spectre. And the island's got goats all over the place, so Shelley was happy.
I think it was Goat Island. Wasn't it called Goat Island?
No, I wanted to say something like Jackson Island, or I can't remember the name of the island. I should have looked it up. It had somebody's name.
Yeah.
A family name. But anyway, it was a lot of fun. That was a great adventure.
That's where I also started the project of hooking up the tow kit for Gobi.
You did that? As a matter of fact, I think that Michael and Shelley's RV is featured in the background.
Yeah, it's in that video. But we were there with them and went down to Prattville and ate at a funeral home. You need to go check out their videos. around the Montgomery area. They did some, I don't know, they've done a lot of videos in Alabama, from haunted houses to eating at funeral homes. I'm talking, you know, go in there and get yourself some Cajun food at a former funeral home. Some good videos. And he's got some good drone video footage too.
Yep.
So check out their
went to
channel.
the graveyard.
Went to the graveyard.
And
Would have been great to go to the graveyard at like midnight, but we were there at what, 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
well, I think we started to talk, and Michael and Shelley and Mel and Nettie did the deed.
Yeah. And then they almost got in trouble with the cops.
Yeah, yeah. So that was in early October.
You keep talking about October because you know what was in October. I got to turn that heat down because I'm afraid it's going to melt the back of the back of the laptop.
When we left Montgomery, Mike and Shelley, after spending a few days with them, we headed up to Mayberry. And Mayberry was another one of the big deals for us this past year. Again, we got to meet old friends we've never met before. And we had a wonderful time, mostly eating, spending time with people, sitting around the campfire, singing all sorts of songs. But it was absolutely wonderful. We really, really, really loved it. So, Mayberry.
That's a good looking RV right there now.
Well, now I'm hoping that our next RV is so good looking. We realize here now that it's winter and it's cold and we got the 2 dogs with us, Matilda's kind of small. She's in our way.
All right, October also included, after Mayberry, of course, Mount Airy, North Carolina. We had a wonderful time.
Yep.
Again, we met more and more old friends for the first time. And I can't name them all. I'd leave somebody out and I'd hurt somebody's feelings, but you know who you are. We had a wonderful time at Mount Airy at the campground, the Mayberry campground.
We've got Thrifty Angela here, and Justin and Christine, RV Van Life.
And Michael.
And Michael.
Michael.
That's right.
Got 23 folks in the room. Thank you so much for spending your Sunday afternoon with us. Don't forget, coming up this Thursday night at 10 o'clock Central Time, 10 Central, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, we are going to go live. We're going to celebrate the good riddance to 2020 and the blessed arrival of 2021 with hopes of wonderful things to come. And at the same time, we hope to be celebrating our monetization. So we figure the way the math is working right now, we'll probably be under review and hopefully we'll be monetized by the time we go live. And if we are, it's all you, and we're going to give it back with a lot of great prizes and hooting and hollering and singing and jumping around, messing and gammon, finching and raring, and just we're going to have us a good time. That will be 10 o'clock Central Time, 11 o'clock Eastern Time, the 31st. I know a lot of folks, John Henry and his brother-in-laws, are all going to be going live. Everybody on YouTube be going live. We're just going to squeeze in there and go live. If you want to join us, please do. 10 o'clock Central, 11 o'clock Eastern on Thursday night, December 31st, for our monetization party. We thank you for helping us get there. It's only a milestone. We're not putting a lot into it, except that we're glad we hit that mark, and now we can move on and just continue to put out some good content that folks enjoy.
So. Boondocking with Boomer is here, and they said hi, and then they asked how our son JW is. They came to our site via JW.
Oh, okay, great. Well, I think he's in here, the Aloha Conch. You can just holler at him, the Aloha Conch, and ask him how he is. He should be in here. All right, that was October. October also included a trip on the return trip from Mount Airy, North Carolina, the Mayberry meetup of 2020. We stopped where?
Savannah.
We did. We stopped at the fan camp on the base. It's an Army base, an Army annex down there. And I can't recall the name of the Army annex, but it is a FAM camp in Savannah, a military FAM camp. So if you're retired military or have access to military campgrounds, that's a nice little stop. And we are planning to go back.
Yes, we are. And on our way to Savannah,
Coming down, I don't know, 72 or whatever it was, whatever road we were on.
anyway, the highway.
Yeah, the highway.
I mean, it was crazy, absolutely crazy. This truck was swerving all over the place. Their trailer was a following and a swerving, and people were hanging out the windows and waving. And it was RV Kids TV.
RV Kids TV, and no, they weren't swerving all over the
They
road,
weren't.
but they were hanging out. They passed us in the left lane, and I'm just tooling along with Matilda, probably 55, 60, maybe 65 if I'm really pushing her on the interstate.
And that was after we did our live at the Flying J.
We did a live at a Flying J, right?
And RV Kids TV had a flat tire, and they had to stop and change. And when we got back, they said they weren't far from us, and then they got back on the road, and we got back on the road, and they done passed us by.
That's right.
It was it was exciting. That was fun.
That was fun to see him. I was just sitting there driving along, and I look over and I see everybody waving out of the window, and yeah, that's fun. But no, they weren't swerving all over the road. I couldn't have been going very fast, so they were coming around me like everybody else comes around me. If you get behind RV Underway,
you're not going to be in a hurry.
you ain't going to be in a hurry. If you're going to be in a hurry, then you need to get on around.
All right, and then we ended October with one other new thing to us.
Fort Rucker.
Yep, we stayed at Fort Rucker. It's the Army base close by to us, and they have a nice lake.
Lake Thalaco.
I couldn't say it. He had to.
Well, you can say it either way. It's Lake Thalaco or Lake Talaco. So I've heard it both ways, but it's the lake on Fort Rucker, the home of Army Aviation. As a matter of fact, her daddy spent some time at Fort Rucker. Anybody who has flown helicopters or mechanicked on helicopters in the Army has been through the hallowed gates of Fort Rucker. But Fort Rucker, Alabama, we stayed at their fam camp and really enjoyed it. A great fam camp, and we got a review of that coming out shortly. So that is what rounded out our October. And then November, we met up again with our epic RV adventure, and this time they had hangers on.
They had hangers on. They did. These people, they really were trying to get
Scallywags. They had scallywags in tow.
Around.
And me and Michael had the pleasure of sitting back in lawn chairs and drinking mint juleps while we watched one of the scallywags wire an external antenna to Michael's Wi-Fi.
Yeah.
We, of course, are talking about Mel and Nettie. What great and wonderful people they are, and we got to meet them for the first time at Cottondale, which is just west of Tuscaloosa.
Mm-hmm.
It's basically Tuscaloosa. It's a suburb, mixed and mingled there. But we had a great time. Got to meet, got to talk, got to laugh, and we got to visit Dreamland Barbecue. And we went to the original Dreamland Barbecue, hole in the wall in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And everybody, as they say, a good time was had by all.
Hello to Dan, the vintage RVer. Thank you for coming over. And who else have we got? I know there's at least one more. Indiana boy.
Germ.
That's
Germ.
They got themselves a beautiful truck, and
we got neighbors moving in all over the place here. We were sitting in here the other night playing our guitars and drinking a little Firefly over there, getting a little loud, and somebody hollered at us, "Why don't you go back to bed?"
It was 6:30 at night.
It was 6:30.
And those of you that were around the campfire at Mayberry, it wasn't no different.
We were still having fun. We did it again last night too.
And we got people across the lake requesting songs.
We had folks across the lake, not across the lake, but it was one of the inlets. So they were a good 2 football fields away across the inlet. All we could see was their campfire. They had their campfire going. We had our campfire going. We're sitting over there singing and playing the cajon. If you know what a cajon is or had a chance to witness many of the cajon players in Mayberry. But we were sitting there playing, and from across that inlet, across that little lagoon, we hear, "Can we hear Country Roads? Take me home, Country Roads." So, of course, we kick into that one. "You know any Hank Jr.?" So we kick into some Hank Jr. and hollering back and forth across the inlet.
Jason from Imagine Your Odyssey is here.
He is one of the cajon players, as well as a doggone good guitar player as well.
And harmonica.
And that's right. I forgot. That is the forte. He brought his box of harmonicas. If you know anything about harp players, mouth harp players, then you know that every harp has a key. So you got to have the right key. It's not like a guitar where you just chord. You got to have the harp in the right key. So if they know anything about harp playing, they have several harps. As a matter of fact, Blues Traveler.
Yeah.
If you ever saw a picture of Big Guy from Blues Traveler, he has a vest with little pockets all over it. He's got harps in all the pockets.
And he knows which one's which.
He knows which one to grab and which one to play when. That's right.
But it was a lot of fun. They requested music and we sang, and then, but they kept requesting the same two songs several times in the evening. They were feeling just as good as we were.
They were feeling as good as we were.
But idle cruises on land and sea. Sorry that you're packing. It says, "Sorry, I'm late packing." That must mean you're going somewhere.
Where are you going?
We're glad that you took time to come back and see us. I did want to mention, because it's if you haven't seen it and haven't seen the news, Susan and Jim got themselves, Susan from New Horizons and Jim from Indiana Boy,
Germ.
They got their new fifth wheel and truck, and they named it Sunset and Sunrise.
Excellent.
It's excellent. So, and Susan just came in. They're in Quartzsite, Arizona.
Are they? They went to Quartzsite?
They went to Quartzsite, yes.
I didn't know Susan and Jerem went to Q.
They went to the Q.
Wow. We hope to go to the Q maybe next year.
Maybe.
This year we have big plans. And since that wraps up 2020 for us, and there's only a few days left in 2020, basically good riddance to 2020.
Yeah.
And I once again informed my employer that I would be retiring in April of 2021. Now, between now and retiring in April of 2021,
April 1st.
we have to, I thought it was my birthday, April 19th.
Well, April 1st, you're going to start putting in your paperwork for Social Security.
So what we're going to do, what we have to do, is we have to empty the house, make some minor repairs, put it on the market, find a buyer, sell the house, close on the house, find an RV, and then we're ready to hit the road. But we have got a big trip coming up.
We do have a big trip coming up.
So this new RV, it's going to be new to us because I'm looking for a used RV. I'm looking for something 2006, 2007, maybe something that's pre-def diesel. Although it's not a hard set rule with me, but that's what we're looking at. We're looking in that range.
Yep.
I would like to get, for Barbara's sake, I would like to get opposing slides, the kitchen across from the living room, because I've seen that arrangement, and that is a big RV.
It's a big RV.
So if you've got the bedroom slide and you've got the opposing slides for the kitchen and living area, wow. So we have some things in mind that we're looking for, and we also have some brand names, some quality brand names that we obviously would like to stick with. If you hear of anything that's about a 400-pound 400 horsepower. I'm sorry, 400 horsepower. Perhaps a Cummins, pre-def, DEF. Shoot it my way.
Well, Dan says it's also only got to be driven by an old lady on Sundays.
To deliver cookies to shut-ins.
That's right. Lisa asked if it was going to be bigger or smaller than Matilda.
Bigger.
Bigger because of the slides.
It'll be bigger. Matilda's 34 feet long, and diesel. I'd like to keep it. I don't think I want to go long enough for a tag axle.
No.
But 35.6 up to 40 feet.
Big.
That's fine. But I think anything that starts approaching 40 feet starts having a tag
Nettie
axle.
says, yeah,
Steerable.
they'll keep an eye out. Well, Nettie's been sending me
pictures.
They
have, and we appreciate that. Mel and Nettie have
keep
been
it up,
sending us
keep it up. All sorts of specs and pictures
That's
because
right.
that helps us. It really does.
And
who knows, we
not
might buy
knowing
it.
anything about what I'm looking for, folks who have experience in that area, like Mel and Nettie,
Yeah.
I would certainly encourage you to contact me. There's our email right there at the top, rvunderway@gmail.com, rvunderway@gmail.com. Just shoot us an email. If you have any thoughts for something that perhaps we should be looking for,
BOA
something to
an eye out.
avoid in a diesel pusher, something to look for in a diesel pusher.
And Lisa, you're right. We've already talked about it. Going down the lazy days for a few days, and
Yeah, we have.
walking through, sitting in, taking the golf cart around, and looking at them. And they'll have new and used ones there too. So we are looking at going to. Now, I do like the fact that she first mentioned a gold cart. Then she corrected herself to golf cart. And of course, Dan picked up on that right away. He said that would be too expensive for his budget.
A gold cart.
A gold cart. It would be interesting to drive.
Well, that's the cart, the golden cart, the golf cart they give the big spenders down at Lazy
okay. Well,
Days.
then they
when
won't
you
be
show
giving
up.
us a gold cart.
They give you the gold cart. It has its own driver and a backseat bar. It's ready to go.
And we have Victoria May, Life Unfiltered. Welcome.
29 people in the room. Thank you all so much for being here. We appreciate you spending your Sunday afternoon with us, and we have wrapped up our 2020 review, and we have put that behind us, and we've got some big plans in 2021. The first of the big plans we've already mentioned is both me and Miss Barbara retiring.
And selling the house.
Then selling the house.
Getting a new Matilda.
Getting a new Matilda.
And our trip.
Well, 3 or 4 small trips first.
Well, yeah, because we got to break her in.
We got to get to know her, and listen, I don't want to get halfway across the Badlands and figure out that something's wrong with this used RV that I bought. I'd rather give her several shakedown cruises, and then I'm ready for the big haul. And,
there you go.
And the big haul does involve the Badlands.
Yep.
It involves a westward trek for us, and we're not going to mention any details or who's going along, but some of our best friends are going, and we're looking forward to caravanning across the West.
We've met most of our best friends that are going, but we do have some best friends we've never met that'll be going.
No, I didn't know that.
Jerry, Teresa, we haven't met them yet.
Oh, I feel like I've met them. Good grief.
I know. They're best friends we haven't met yet.
Good grief. I thought you were going to come off with some oddball. Oh, you did come off with some oddball.
Well,
Him and Steve Turtle, oddballs. We're all oddballs.
we are all oddballs, but the best part about it is Jerry will take control. He has become the cruise director.
That's right. But anyway, so our summer is planned, but getting to the summer, is going to be real interesting because so much has to happen and so much has to fall into place. Not to mention the least of which is selling the home, purchasing the RV, or purchasing the RV and then selling the home. I don't care which order that happens in, but the point is that has to happen because I told Miss Barbara, I said, well, we're already living in Matilda. We'll just continue to live in Matilda, whether it be the old Matilda or the new Matilda, and sell the house. But then, of course, we have to give her some shakedown cruises to make sure she's road ready and get comfortable with it, because I'm used to a V8, a 454, which is the Chevy motor that Matilda has.
Yep.
And you have to be patient. And when I first put my foot down on that 400 horse Cummins or Caterpillar,
She gonna go?
we're moving.
We're moving. But yeah, we've got lots and lots of plans, and
Well, I hope she is. I'm looking forward to that.
since I've already paid for most of the reservations for the RV stops, the camp stops that we'll be making on our trip. Now we got ourselves out to the West Coast. We haven't figured out how we're getting back home yet. What kind of stops we're going to
By what
make.
route?
By what route? We haven't figured that out yet. I know it'll include a stop in Colorado Springs,
Miss Barbara's home is Colorado Springs.
but
So we'll be stopping there. We're very familiar with California. We lived there for many years. So Southern California may be on our route.
Yeah.
Then come over through maybe just a sea quartzite. Just come through that area just to see it. And then head on over and up to Colorado Springs. And then avoid at all costs the state of Kansas.
It's the flattest state known
If you're
to
from
man.
Kansas, I apologize, but I've never driven across a more boring state in my
And Texas is
entire
long.
life. And Texas is a lot like that. When you get into western Texas, you headed over toward El Paso.
You're driving forever.
I'm serious. I'm not even sure the Word of God made it out that far yet. So
Oh, mercy.
that's out there in the middle of nowhere.
Lisa wanted to know if we were going to partake in the 1,000 Trails.
We don't know yet.
That really...
Passport
yeah.
America, 1,000 Trails.
We are going to do a harvest host.
Yes, indeed. We're definitely, didn't we already buy our membership?
Yeah, we bought our memberships, and we're all going to do a harvest host stay. So
We bought our membership in Harvest Host and look forward to those stays. And outside of our summer trip, we look forward to going to those. But we don't know if we're going to do 1,000 Trails. Did you guys do 1,000 Trails, and what has been your experience? Because it depends on who you ask, you know. Whether they've had good experience or bad experience, so you never really know. But I'd be interested to know, Lisa, and the Summers Going Coastal, what your experience has been with Harvest Host, or anybody out there. As a matter of fact, if you just want to chime in and simply give us a Harvest Host, not Harvest Host, I'm sorry, 1,000 Trails, 1,000 Trails. Just give us a 1,000 Trails thumb up or a 1,000 Trails thumb down, as opposed to
and not in the chat.
yeah, I'm talking about the emoji. Give us the emoji thumbs up or thumbs down as to your experience with 1,000 Trails.
Lisa said that they got a 1 year free with their rig, but they only used it once. And that's kind of a lot that we hear, is people aren't using it for the price that it costs, but we're not ruling it out, not yet.
I'm just not sure the whole territorial thing.
Yeah, that's
You
our...
buy the territory for the Southeast, and then you end up spending most of your time in the Midwest or out west, or maybe up in the Northeast.
Well,
I'm just not
it's like
sure.
everything. If you use it, then it's worth the money. If
Not
you don't
knowing
use it-
what our future holds as far as where we're going to go once we do go full time. We don't know where we're going to go. We're just, the wind blows, we're going to go. You know, if one of our friends on in the community says, hey, we're over at so-and-so for the weekend, if we can get a slot, we're going to be over there too. So
Camper Life and RV Kids use it a lot. That came from Doreen. Mel and Nettie said they've only used it twice so far, but they've paid for a year with 2 zones. So, Hitch Up and Tow is here. I want to welcome them in. But
32 people in the room. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank y'all. Y'all hurting for entertainment on a Sunday afternoon, aren't you? You ain't watching football. College football's kind of on pause right now till we get to the playoffs. So, roll Tide, by the way. And you know, I've been bad-mouthing Notre Dame. I did not know they had played 11 games and have a 10-1 record. I apologize to all you Notre Dame fans out there. You deserve to be in the Final Four. You deserve it. So, I apologize profusely for bad-mouthing Notre Dame. But if you're an Alabama fan, you never could stand Notre Dame. Okay?
But yes, we're going to retire this year. We are going to travel. Eventually, I know that Ricky is he would like to get an acre of land, North Florida.
I'm looking for an acre of land
to,
in North Florida, somewhere close to the interstate,
Yeah.
So that we just have an easy on and off. And Florida, because we'd like to move our home of record down there. We've lived probably half our lives in Florida. You know, between Key West and
all 3 of our boys were
Orlando.
born in Florida.
All 3 of our sons were born there, and I was born there. All 4 of our boys were born there then. But move our home of record, or our, what do they call it, our domicile, place of domicile, or
Yeah.
permanent domicile. Move that to...
Home of record is the military.
Yeah, home of record is a military term.
Mr. Roboto is in the room.
Domarigato, Mr. Roboto. Dotashitemaste, kudasai.
Kudasai. So, well, we've got about 12 more minutes before we have to send people to Nursing Our Travel Bug.
Nursing Our Travel Bug is coming up next. What about videos? Tell me about some of the videos you've watched this week. Have you watched any good videos that you can talk about? That you'd like to point out?
Mostly I've been watching that RV Underway.
Oh, that's right.
'Cause
Yeah,
we're
but
close.
you've been watching that on a different
Well,
account.
Yeah, under a different account. Just a few things. I mean, I did see Susan and Jim's RV introductions, so that was good. I've watched a lot of people.
I haven't
Christmas
seen that
ones
one. I have
out.
to go see that one where
Yeah,
they
it's
introduce their
nice.
5th wheel.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
nice. But a lot of people have had Christmas videos out, and that's been enjoyable. It's not that they're not something you can remember, because it's like visiting family. Everybody from Troubadour to everybody out there has had great Christmas videos, and some of them are memories, some of them are music, it's just been a party. So I've enjoyed that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Dan says that Traveling Robert just bought in North Florida about 2 acres down some dead end out in the woods.
That's what I'm finding. You can find an acre here, 2 acres there. You can find it. The problem is finding it on a paved road. That's the big problem. The acreage is down there and the price is cheap. All you gotta do is clear it off.
Yeah.
And I did watch Traveling Robert's video where he was clearing it off, and he flew his drone. He backed his drone up into a tree. He had one of the Pelican drones, and it was tracking him as he walked through the property, showing the work they had done. And then he backtracked. And I think the logic in the drone said, well, he's coming up under me, so I'm going to raise up. Well, most drones, I'm not sure about the Pelican, doesn't have obstacle avoidance on the top. So the sensors aren't on the top, and it climbed up into a tree. and then fell with a thud to the ground. But anyway, I like watching Traveling Robert, and I did see where he bought those acres of land there in North Florida, and that's what we plan to do. I've been looking at a lot of land. Again, it's inexpensive, and there's plenty of it to be had, but most of it is on a sandy a two-wheel rut road. So I can't see taking a big Class A down in there. And what I'd really like to have it for is just our home away from home, our time off the road. Maybe have a small structure on the property and drop a well and get some electrical service and put a septic tank in and be ready to park the RV there and entertain friends with their RVs when they come down. And I think that's what Robert's doing. He's setting up a piece of property so that it'll have several slots for other RVers to come down and join him, and that's what we're looking forward to.
Yeah, that's what we're hoping for. Mr. Roboto says he's going to be heading. They're going to be heading down to Florida in April. Let us know what your plans are. If we're in the area, we will definitely want to meet up with you, even if it's just to have dinner someplace. Short meetups like that, we love them. We love them. But
just so you know, I-10 is about 30 miles south of us.
Yeah.
So if you're coming across I-10 from Jacksonville, Live Oak, over to Tallahassee and onward, anywhere in that window between Live Oak and Tallahassee and Pensacola, you're coming on I-10, give us a holler. We'd love to come down and buy you dinner. And just get to know you, meet up. You know, don't have to do a camping thing, just a meet up. Just get you off the road and maybe share some food and some good fellowship. We'd love to do that. So, again, if you're coming across I-10, just holler at us, drop us an email, Gmail. It's rvunderway@gmail.com, rvunderway@gmail.com.
Asheville George was saying buying in Florida for U.S. military retirements is a great idea. We thought about it too, and he asked if we were going to try to be near a base. That's not a necessity. I mean, it's not a requirement.
No,
But I wouldn't mind, because we can use a lot of our...
We've got so many bases down there. We got Tyndall Air Force Base. We got Eglin Air Force Base. We've got Pensacola Naval Air Station. 30 miles north of I-10, you've got Fort Rucker, Alabama. So, yes, if we were to buy land, I was actually looking for land around the Marianna, Florida area on I-10, just north of I-10.
Mm-hmm.
But if we go west from there, we're getting closer and closer to the facilities at Eglin and the facilities at Tyndall.
Yep.
And then, of course, if you get between, say, Tyndall and Pensacola, you've got access to either direction you drive, you know, so you're pretty much... And again, the land is inexpensive. It's just that most of it is parcels, you know, an acre and a half, 2 acres, up to 10 acres. But it's down a sand road. So if I tell you what, the first one I find that's off a piece of paved road, I'm probably going to snatch it up. I don't want to be bogging down no Class A. I have to be pulled out every time I want to go somewhere. So
I do want to remind you that we are going to do a New Year's Eve live, 10 o'clock our time.
10 o'clock Central,
10 o'clock
11 Eastern.
Mm-hmm. And before our show will be Forever Best Friends.
Charlie
Grace is going to be on, and then we're going to go on her show, the last 15 minutes or so of her show, and just carry it on over. And I think there'll be a lot of us doing that. So, but yeah, bases, you know, again, they're not necessary for us, but we do use a lot of the benefits, especially me. I get all my prescriptions done.
So yes, that's a good point. Maybe I'll start looking closer to the west in the Panhandle, so that I can at least be close to, I think, Tyndall. So if you get over around the Apalachicola area, then Tyndall is a rock's throw from there. So maybe within 25, 30, up to 50 miles from a base.
Yeah.
That'd make it worth our while to go get prescriptions and commissary groceries and, you know, stuff like that.
Yep.
Use your benefits.
All right. Well, we got 5 minutes, baby.
Yep. Is there anything else you want to do in 2021?
2021. Well,
Go into Savannah.
Yeah, I do want to go to Savannah, and we've already talked about doing that. And that doesn't have to be with a new RV or anything. We can do that early part. I'd like to go and spend a couple days there. I've never been to Savannah, and I've always wanted to do it. So.
And like I said, on our return trip from Mayberry back in October, we stopped just to get off the road. You know, we got a late start from Mayberry, and
it was about a halfway point.
It was a halfway point.
Even though we kind of went out of the way.
Yeah. So we made our way to Savannah and then spent the night in Savannah, just pulled in, hooked up, full hookups by the way, pulled in, hooked up, made a video the next morning, and then we hit the road and finished our drive across Georgia into southeast Alabama where we live. And here we find ourselves on Lake Eufaula at White Oak Creek. What's the name of this section? Do you know?
I'm not sure.
Fisher's Point or something like that. Fisher's Point. But anyway, we're here inside our little canopy with our lights and our gas heater because, buddy, it has been cold here in South Alabama.
Yes, it has.
It has been some kind of bitter. I don't have a heated hose, and I've had to go out every night and pull the filter, pull the regulator, and pull the hose off. Matilda is a Four Seasons RV, so anything I store in the basements is pretty much protected. And so I have to stow everything away. And then the next morning I go out with a pan of hot water and I pour it over the faucet at the campground because the latch is froze. It won't open. So I pour the hot water over it, thaw it out, so that I get water flowing. Once I get water flowing, then I go ahead and hook ours back up. Now tonight, last night it got down to 26.
Yep.
Tonight it's supposed to get down to 38. So I'm going to take a chance. I'm not disconnecting anything. I'm going to keep the water flowing. We don't have full hookups here. We have electricity and we have water. We do not have sewer, so it's not like I can leave my gray tank open and just keep the water trickling. But I can loosen the hose a little bit so that just a little dribble of water comes out at the end of the filter before it goes via the hose into the RV. So that will keep the water trickling right there at the faucet, just in case.
Just in case.
But it's supposed to be only 38. We're having a heat wave. We're experiencing a heat wave.
And in Florida, the iguanas are falling out of the trees.
Why?
Oh,
the cold. They're freezing
cold.
to death.
Yeah, you know, they hibernate and they fall out of the trees, and when it warms up, they get up and walk away.
You know, funny thing is, when we were down in Key West, they had chickens, roosters, and chickens everywhere, and they had those six-toed cats down there at Hemingway's place.
Yeah.
But they never had iguanas.
Well, that was when we lived there. There wasn't a whole lot of chickens when we lived down there either.
Now you go back, chickens are everywhere.
Chickens are
and
everywhere.
iguanas are everywhere.
Yeah.
They didn't have them. Now, we were there in the 80s, right?
Yeah, we lived there in the early 80s.
Yeah, early 80s. They didn't have no iguanas in Key West. There weren't no iguanas. Now they're everywhere down in the Florida Keys.
Everywhere. All right, 1 minute. What are we supposed to say?
We're supposed to say go to Nursing Our Travel
That's
Bug.
right.
Go ahead and do a search on Nursing Our Travel Bug because I'm working off the laptop here and I'm not going to be able to grab their link and throw it in there.
Well, Sue's already put it in there for
Well,
us.
thank you,
I think
Sue.
Sue and Nettie have taken care of that.
Thank you so much.
I know
Appreciate that.
Yeah. So Nursing Our Travel Bug is next, and after them is Beyond Beauty 3, and I know there's a couple of others, and I'll forget them, and I don't want to mess them up. But we're so glad you guys have came in.
It's 4 o'clock.
It's 4
That's 4 o'clock Central, 5 o'clock Eastern. Time to go see Nursing Our Travel Bug, doing RV Underway Raid. And until we see you again, God bless you, and
fair winds
and following seas.
God bless you.